Tonight, from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, it's Week 16 of the NFL on EA Sports.
From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Tonight, we've got the crew set for what should be a real treat, a great Monday night matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Miami Dolphins. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses that have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, one word for that opening play call, and that is aggressive, but it works. First play from scrimmage, long touchdown pass.
Well, let's be honest about it. In our production meeting last night, we talked about when would the secondary get tested. I did not say they'd get tested on play number one. I knew as the game went along, they would take their shots. But that, as you said, a bold strike and very successful right out of the gate.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the number 1 overall pick back in 2015 out of Florida State, Jameis Winston.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
A first down throw for Winston. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. Making back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had 1 week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I want to play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make the score 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This one will come out to the 25 as Pollard is going to elect not to return it. But look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break if this were tennis, right? Because they just gave one up. Only their second drive now. Run their offense, try and get back into the game that way, and then look for some help from their defense.
Trying to forget about that pick six last time out. A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 24 carries, 109 yards, and a touchdown.
And a rushing title is definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there, but they also understand that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch because they don't want it to happen at their expense. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Working out of the gun, Winston. Under pressure, they got him again. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I won't wait till the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. Yeah. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Winston. And the pressure gets to him again. It'll go in the books as a sack and a loss of a yard. But more importantly, it leads to 4th down.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Taken from just outside the 30. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good head-down running on the return. Gets about 15 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it. It's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way.
And this is taken in at the 5. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 21-0. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Pollard to return from the end zone. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them right now, not a done deal. They are holding down one of the final 3 wildcard spots with 2 weeks to go. But, you know, there are others, Charles, kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And, Brandon, it's always worth keeping in mind, and I have to keep writing it down for myself. Remember, it's 7 teams in each conference now making the playoffs. So that brings more important games to the end of the season. So, in theory, more teams alive for postseason berth later in the year.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through it, there's nothing but room to run. Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a first down.
Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time.
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Dolphins. A big play there. Doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. The first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it, it's scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over it.
Sanders now to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. Pollard to return from the end zone. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This defense for the Dolphins, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
On 3rd down, Winston. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender, but a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drives exactly what you want on offense. But they have to be careful.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there. What is going on here? 4 first-quarter touchdowns. Unbelievable. And the Dolphins open the lead up to 34-0. Sanders on for the extra point. And he's he's been a busy man. 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One-play drive and into the end zone for 6. So plenty of fireworks here early. 35-0 now as the kick is away. Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Now the Steelers getting set and ready for their next possession. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early, but that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. Harris starts the drive on the ground, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run the counter. Harris. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now Winston. He gets it complete to Harris. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked it down to force a 4th down?
And taken right on the 30. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Miami set to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that post route there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to look the football in and gain significant yardage.
On 1st down, Tagovailoa. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Dolphins have taken a 6-touchdown lead.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats, but what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click. And I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This one will come out to the 25 as Pollard is going to elect not to return it. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter. And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Winston's throw complete there to Johnson, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way, because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's 2nd down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game. And now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Winston. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 25-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Now a first down carry for Harris, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers, he's under 3. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end. And this score will stay right where it is.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss, because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up. And, Charles, you think about this offense, and it's kind of a tricky time of the season, because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a situation there, and actually you didn't create it. You presented it, and you're exactly right. It is tricky, because your eye has to be on the ultimate prize, which is the Super Bowl. That's paramount. But at the same time, how much fun would it be to go down as one of the all-time great teams and join the 1972 Dolphins as the only undefeated team to win a Super Bowl?
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the 1st. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, there's a trust factor in that call. Turning and handing it to the big man in the backfield, trying to pick up the 1st down. But how about the defense? They were ready for him, and they were able to stop him.
And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. Boy, I mean, at this point, what more do we say here? I got nothing.
And you know, so many people talk all the time about having announcer-less games, and they want that. This could be a candidate for it, because if we stay here and do this, we're going to have a lot to fill in the 2nd half.
There's still another half. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the rout is on here in this 1st half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taken at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. In 2nd quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. A good gain on 1st, has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Trying to lay one up deep, and that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So a costly penalty, yardage. As that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Jalen Phillips in there to get him. That is the 6th time that they have sacked him tonight.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
The Steelers on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. To throw, Winston. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So 2 missed field goals for him now. That's helped keep them with a big 0 on the scoreboard.
Well, it's not the only reason they have a 0. The offense has been bogged down a few times now, but it's certainly not helping the cause any at all.
2 now on 1st down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown. A big play there. 58 yards. And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here this first half. And that, boys and girls, is an NFL record. 6th touchdown reception. The record has stood since 1950. What a game.
How about that? Because so many things have to go right in order for it to happen. Not just him catching the passes, someone delivering it accurately, offensive line giving him time to throw the ball. A true team record, but he stands above it because he was on the receiving end of so many great plays.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This is Tony Pollard. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the posts. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
7 yards, the pickup there.
I think that was a pretty good read right there. They caught him in zone defense and went to the hitch. And because they're in zone, that creates a natural space between the defenders and the receiver, able to get it to him quickly and let him get upfield.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 3rd down. Here's Winston. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. That's taken on the 25. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Dolphins. Henry runs. His 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I think there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead will swell by one more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
This taken in at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
44 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. 4 yards remain for second down.
From the shotgun, it's Winston.
He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side.
It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Winston now to throw on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
This one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. Another try after the first down sack. Winston.
And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Derek Brown in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
The Steelers send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Returnable here from the 38. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part...
And this is caught! Touchdown! A great effort there. 56 yards. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, I've lost track of how many times he's been in the end zone. This is just flat unbelievable.
Doesn't matter whether you have an abacus, a calculator, just old-fashioned pencil and paper trying to total it up. The number is staggering. What a performance. This man knows how to find the end zone and make it count.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Now Pollard. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Najee Harris and the Steeler offense set to go to work once again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The Steelers on 3rd down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Winston now.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Sanders now to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Throwing, Winston.
Open man, that's the tight end, Freiermuth.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
Here's Freiermuth again.
And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2. It's brought in by Harris. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, it's Winston.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. From the 38, Winston. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 24. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. After the turnover, it's Tua.
He'll let this go deep for Ruggs.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Dolphins.
Henry Ruggs.
As the first half is winding down.
And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
You said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
As they go to work with 12 seconds on the clock.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. To throw is Winston. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, where it was the visiting Panthers who were able to come in and get one on the road. Sam Darnold, strong in the victory as it pushes his guys back above the 500 mark on the year. From there, let's head over to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. Preston Williams, well over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Raiders. J.K. Dobbins, over 100 yards in the victory with 2 touchdown runs as well. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports.
This taken in at the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
A look
look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. And that first half was nothing short of a disaster. 0 points on the scoreboard and a big 3 in the INT column.
So they've got to get him going, obviously, right? So you've got to get him in rhythm. And we always think of short passes. I think of jet sweeps where they just kind of toss the ball forward. You know, that counts as a forward pass. And then you can say to him, look at that. You completed 3, 4, 5 in a row. Now you've got to get your confidence going.
Meanwhile, Winston's throw complete there to Smith-Schuster. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Winston, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Dolphins have got it. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They had the big halftime lead. Their defense just helped them out further by forcing the turnover, so things are starting to look pretty rosy.
They certainly are, but they've got to be careful about getting complacent, though. They still need to go out and run their offense efficiently.
On the handoff, it's Gaskin. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Myles Gaskin, touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
Sanders on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Now Pollard. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now here's another carry for Harris. And once again, the Dolphin defense holds firm as they'll stop him behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
2 things to watch. First, his strength in being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
3rd and long for Winston. Yeah, this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. Miami's offense set and ready to go.
They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
I can't believe they even let you play. Minus 57, 57.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing. This game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
A handoff as they run the counter play. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Working with a 2nd and 3.
On the counter, here's Williams. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They went counter there offensively, and a couple of defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were, and you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't even have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
Here's Gaskin. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Second and 6.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4.
Check nine, check nine.
Out of the pistol, here's Williams. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 45 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Myles Gaskin, his 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. And he certainly played a pivotal role in those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Now Pollard. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else. Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side. I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Winston. Quick completion here to Johnson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
On 1st and 10, Winston. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or 2. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. To throw again on 2nd down, Winston. And that's going to be incomplete.
The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Winston on 3rd and 2. This time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. 85 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ballgame. Working with a 2nd and 4. Winston. Flush to his right. Winston into the slide, and he's got a first down. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Harris. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
2nd down and goal. Winston. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Pat Freiermuth. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by McPherson, up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Takes it at the 7. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Miami set to take over. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They run the counter now on first down. Trucks over him, and he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Well, partners, my old man used to say, make sure you strap up tight if you're going to try and stop one of those big horses out there. As you just saw there, this guy does not go down easily.
So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. They'll run now with Gaskin, and he'll be brought down at about the 42. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Well, they've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
The end result was brute force on brute force. But think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. A give to Williams, running right. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there.
That also a career-long kick for the veteran, Charles.
Yeah, how about what he just got done there? We always knew he had a big leg, but how about everything coming together perfectly on that one? Great leg swing, and bang that one through.
Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out.
And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now left side on the swing pass. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot.
And a loose football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
57, Mike, 57. Here we go.
This is Gaskin on the carry.
42 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And that is incomplete.
Coverage is... awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. 57 to Mike, 57 to Mike. I'm coming, baby, I'm coming.
Back back to throw. McKee. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback standing alone with a new NFL record 32nd touchdown. And the Dolphins are moving closer to a 15-0 record as they extend their lead here. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. This one will come out to the 25 as Pollard is going to elect not to return it. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. A second down throw for Winston. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Winston from the gun on third down. And that is incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football. We just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. Room to run for Gaskin. And down right around the 37.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Now a carry here for their fullback. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Dolphins, they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they run their mark to 15-0 on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Patriots will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, it's a tough blow to their playoff aspirations as they drop to 9-6. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.